I've talked before about things like preferences and such when it comes to romantic and or sexual partners, and preferences are valid no matter what you have. I've talked about the importance of representation as well, that when representation is done, it should just be done and not made a big deal out of, because the ultimate goal is to have that inclusivity and have it be normal. And we will get into all that in a moment here. But ultimately, I believe that you should just do the representation, and then when conservatives or anyone else looks at you and they're like, "Oh, what's this? You're being woke. You're pushing an agenda." You can look at them and be like, "What's so? Why? Why is it like? What's so? Why does it have to be an agenda to have black or gay people or whatever in?" And there really is this kind of joke that woke just means anything that isn't white. We're about to see just how true that is in a moment, but hey everyone, my name's Christian Verstappen, and I have a lot to say about many things. I want to talk about these tweets that I came across earlier today by Ali Beth Stuckey. Now, I don't remember much about this person. I don't remember if it was Jimmy Snow, Hunter Avalon, or Jacqueline Glenn. Someone that I follow who's pretty like
Do you
anti-religious,
believe
so to speak,
that the killing of
has
babies in
gone over this stuff before. I'm gonna no, I don't know if I can do that. Whatever. Um, has gone over some of her content before and how harmful she is. She even promotes herself here, pastel hate influencer and Christian fundamentalist. Nice. Recruiting a young audience with an Instagrammable aesthetic. So we take a look at a few of her tweets here. Okay, are we gonna? There it is. We have this statue where she says, "There is no neutral ground in the universe. Every square inch." It's a quote by C.S. Lewis. I don't really get This is art. Like, I don't understand the issue with this. This art. This, like, it's an artistic depiction of a woman. Okay, cool. Or the female figure, at least. Like, whatever. Okay. Then we have. Why is it doing this? Okay. Progressivism destroys always and everywhere. Destruction is its nature, truth, the family order, and beauty. It replaces everything good with something grotesque. What is wrong with this? That we have a trans man, and more than likely, I mean, they could be non-binary, either trans or non-binary. They have King on that thing, so maybe they're probably trans man, and more than likely a trans woman, maybe non-binary. I don't know, but what's wrong with this? We have two people that are embracing each other, showing their love for each other, and all in all, just like, what's the issue here? So then we have, right. So yeah, she has a pretty general thing about this. Tweet I came across: "You will never see another ad like this again in your life." It's Vogue US, July 1996. We have a ton of blonde women wearing all white in the ad. The most diversity you're going to see here is slight diversity in the face shapes. Diversity in the eye colors. Like, we have hazel eyes, blue eyes, brown eyes, gray eyes, possibly brown eyes, and whoops, brown eyes again. Okay, so we have that. They all have, slightly different variations of their hair and different things, slightly different tints, but for the most part, they're all a bunch of white blondes. One of my best friends would refer to them as basic. So I tweeted, as someone who tends to, so the whole point, right? You'll never see another ad like this again, and you have all these people saying how, like, oh, this is wrong. This is, it's the replacement rhetoric, right? So I say, as someone who tends to prefer blonde white women, I have never had an issue finding them in the real world or media. They're not going anywhere. We're not getting rid of them, just including more types of women. Nothing wrong with that. Chill. Dylan Burns, of course, says, who cares? We have this other person saying, thank God for that, fed up with one type of beauty being rammed down our throats. We have always been forced to only look at white women. If your beauty is so supreme, why do you feel so threatened by other beautiful races? Yeah, I agree with that. I miss the days when models were actually good looking. They still are. You can find tons of good looking models everywhere. Yeah, like there absolutely are. So we have the whole thing here, right? So we have, I'm guessing that's bad. I can't imagine you'd post this in a celebratory fashion. Assuming that's the case, are you implying it's bad because of rampant PC? I guess political correctness. Is that so bad in this case? Am I missing something? This person says, nah, she was just racist, pretty simple. Yeah, that is pretty much what it is here, right? Okay, so here's the thing, right? Calvin Klein 1992, Calvin Klein 2022. So you'll have conservatives post things like this a lot to kind of put this notion forward that, oh, this is how things used to be, this is how they are now, return to tradition kind of thing, right? And the reality is, yes, this does exist, but you can still find more conventionally attractive people. You can still, I know they're not white, God forbid. You can still find more conventionally attractive people. Like they're not going anywhere. Can you see this? Am I covering this? Okay, no, you can see it. They're not going anywhere. they're still here. Like we're not. All we're doing, like we as progressive people, the left, the radical left, all we're doing is expanding. We're not saying like, oh, these people can't exist. Like it's not that. It's expanding to say, hey, yeah, these people are beautiful. Like I said, I tend to prefer blondes. I kind of oscillating between that and more brunette Latinas or racially ambiguous, maybe Middle Eastern, something like that. I'm not quite sure. I'm finding more and more that I just like women. But as far as like what my type is, I don't know if maybe I'm breaking out of one altogether. I don't know. But what I do know is that I talked about this before when I talked about the amazingness of the TV show, the Netflix series She's Gotta Have It, where if you are intentionally trying to find black women, Asian women, Hispanic women, it is a lot harder than finding white women. And the funny thing about this, I can't, there's no way that I can actually like prove this, I guess. Let me see. If I go to my home, because when I was looking at this tweet originally, I'm going to see if I can find it here. No. Okay. So here, I'm just going to search. When I first looked at this, I literally saw this ad for the How I Met Your Father show featuring a blonde woman as the main character. Hilary Duff plays the main character in How I Met Your Father. I have yet to watch this show yet because I just do. I loved How I Met Your Mother, though. It's one of my favorite shows. Now my favorite show is probably The Boys, but How I Met Your Mother was How I Met Your Mother was an amazing show. One that I'll be talking about relatively soon as well. And but look, she's the main character, Hilary Duff, a blonde woman, a blonde white woman. She is the main character. Now, you might get some people on one side that say it's problematic that she's the main character or that she's in it at all. I would disagree. I say we have representation here with a blonde, a Latina, and an Asian woman. And we also have some type of brown, possibly Indian, not really sure, dude and two other dudes. Now you could say, oh, we don't have trans people, we don't have this, we don't have da-da-da-da. Sure, whatever, but like not everything is going to be ultimately inclusive of everybody all the time. That's just not how anything works. But this is good. And the reason I wanted to point out is because I found it hilarious that the promotion ad for this came up as soon as I was on that tweet. It was funny because they were like, oh, you won't find women like this anymore. You won't find blonde women. It's getting harder and harder to find. If we look at these things, right? If I'm trying to find... Yeah, this is true. So much victimhood. You guys are so bad at this white outrage thing. I searched and found 2 with multiple white blonde women in the ads in 2015/2020. Never mind the countless white actors on the covers. Yeah, exactly. It's like, chill. It's calm down. Now, as with many things, there are two sides of kind of people, two types of people that are going to be freaking out about this. You have the reactionaries that are all like, oh, we got to have all white people. And you have the woke scolds that are going to be like, yeah, and it's good that we're seeing less white people. You should probably know that my take on this is very simply, just let people be. Let them represent what they want to represent. Let the inclusivity exist for the people of color, as it were, and let the stuff exist for the white people as well. Nothing wrong with that. We don't need any bullshit, right? Like, just let people be. It's all good. But it doesn't end there, because we also have this wonderful video, or not video, this image. Band-Aids. Someone saw in a, I don't know, drugstore, somewhere where they sell Band-Aids. They sell Band-Aids pretty much everywhere, right? Called R-Tone. Now, I can tell you, I don't really care about Band-Aids personally, but we're going to get to an image that actually really melted my heart when I first saw it, and I'm glad that someone pointed it out in this image, in this thread as well. Because we have this person, Courtney Sharp here, being outraged. R-Tone, really? Woke bandages. So I opened this by saying there's a joke that woke just means non-white. And here we are. It's not white, so it's woke. There's an image here. I love this one. I have this saved. I saw this about a year or so ago, and it melted my heart when I first saw it. It's taken me 45 trips around the sun, but for the first time in my life, I know what it feels like to have a Band-Aid in my own skin tone. You can barely even spot it in the first image. For real, I'm holding back tears. Guys, this is one of those examples where privilege is sometimes not even recognizing that you have it, because I never realized that Band-Aids were supposed to be skin tone. I never realized Band-Aids were supposed to be like, that's why they were that color. I thought it was just because. I never thought it really matched my skin that well. I just thought that's just how it was supposed to be. But now that I know they're supposed to be skin tone, and the idea, it's true. Like, I have to zoom in, or you look at that picture to see the Band-Aid in the first image. Look at that. Look at that. Like, that's really cool. This is such a small thing, but like, if something like that is going to make someone like this feel really good, why would you want to take that away from them? Why would you do this whole, oh, this is woke, this is yeah, it really is, woke is just not white. Woke is, this image sums it up perfectly. Two sexes, male and political. Two sexualities, straight and political. Two races, white and political. Look, I get it. Not so much this is fucking bullshit. And so is this. Like, again, if you like these kind of women, as I very much do, there is nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to sit here and try to tell me that, like, oh, they're getting rid of them, no, they're not going anywhere. Chill. And the only argument that I think is legitimate, by the way, as far as any kind, not the only, how do I phrase this? Okay, let me put it this way. If you're concerned about, say, white blondes, for example, going extinct or something like that, because that is your preference in women or men or whatever the case, and you're afraid that they're going to die out and you won't be able to find them to date, hook up with, marry, whatever, have any kind of relationship with, chill, because that's not happening. Is it true that in many, many years from now, white people might not exist at all, and we might all be some type of brown? Yeah, sure. Is it going to matter then? No. Is it true that whites at some point may very well become the minority? Yeah, absolutely. Is that a problem? No, because race and skin tone is only skin deep. Now, again, I understand that I say this with immense privilege as a white person, as a white cis het male, but this notion that yeah, just that right there. No, not that image. This one right here. This sums it up perfectly. Like this is it. Woke is not male. Woke is not straight. Woke is not white. Like that's it. That's it. It's ridiculous. So to the woke schools that are saying like, oh well, it's good, it's about time, that kind of bullshit, kindly fuck off, because you're not helping anyone. You're only giving ammunition to the right with things like that, where they'll look at that and they'll say, see, they want to replace us. No. And to the righties that look at this and are so fearful, so afraid that you're going to be replaced, calm down. You're not being replaced. White people aren't going anywhere. Representation of white people isn't going anywhere. Calm down. I guarantee you, if you try to look at this from the other side, if you are like one of my best friends who prefers black women, it is much harder for him to find, especially in media, black women that he likes, that he wants to see. Maybe he wants to see like a hot black woman in like a movie or a TV show or something. It is a lot harder to find that if you're searching for something, someone who is black or Asian or what. And same thing for dudes, and of course non-binary people. We have no representation of non-binary people, and very little of trans, and very little positive of trans. But there's nothing wrong with having the representation. I talked about this before, but like, representation is fine. Just don't freak out about it. Don't necessarily virtue signal. And to be clear, that guy that was having his little moment where he was like, oh, this makes me feel so good. That's not virtue signaling. Virtue signaling is if Band-Aid would come out and they were like, we're doing this to fight discrimination and we're pro-equality, and they made some publicity stunt about it. Like, that would be dumb. But when they just do it, it's cool. It's nice. So yeah, no, this notion that like woke is anything that isn't white, male, or straight, as well as this notion that it's about time people in power like were knocked down a peg or something. I don't agree with either of those mentalities. 100% have the representation. The representation is good. Let people be. Shut up about it. Calm down. Understand that people like this, like Ali here, are explicitly trying to get you outraged. That's the whole point of this outrage bullshit. But whether you like people that look like this, or you like people that look like this, I promise you, these are not going anywhere. They are fine. People are fine. Calm down. It is like they're fine. It's okay. Calm down. Just chill. As always, these are just my thoughts. Please let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Follow me on social media for more. Links in the description. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date. Leave a like if you like. And if not, I hope you find something to do. Like, later, guys. Peace and love.